Welcome, my friend, to Stoic wisdom, where timeless philosophy meets the very real struggles of modern relationships. Today's topic is one that men all over the world wrestle with, often in silence, often with confusion, and too often when it's already too late. The hidden signs that she may not see him as just a friend. Sign number 1. Her body language says otherwise. 3,000 words. They say actions speak louder than words, but in truth, it is not just actions. It is micro-actions, the subtle signals of the body that scream the truth no matter what the lips try to conceal. When a woman says, "He's just a friend," but her body language tells a different story, the wise man pays attention, because the body, unlike the mind, has no filter. It cannot lie for long. It reveals attraction. It exposes connection. It betrays what the words are trying to hide. 1.1. The ancient wisdom behind body language. The Stoics believed that human beings were not only rational creatures, but also deeply predictable in their instincts. Marcus Aurelius observed that nature always reveals itself if you are willing to watch carefully. He wrote, "Observe always, for the truth is plain, if only the mind is attentive." In relationships, this truth plays out through body language. Words are the mask. The body is the confession. When you learn to observe instead of simply hear, you unlock an entirely new dimension of truth. So let us break down the signals. 1.2. When she talks about him. Notice first, what happens when she simply mentions his name? Does her face light up a little more than usual? Does her laughter become freer, almost nervous? Is there a softness, a warmth, a glow in her tone? If she says, "He's just a friend," but her voice carries an intimacy, a familiarity, an affection that she doesn't show when speaking of other people, then your instinct should perk up. That's not neutral. That's attachment. Think of this. When a woman mentions her brother or her co-worker, she does so with flat neutrality. But when she mentions someone who holds a place in her emotions, her tone shifts. She doesn't intend to reveal it, but her subconscious slips through. The philosopher Seneca once warned that a guilty conscience gives itself away. It may not be guilt in this case, but it is emotional involvement. 1.3. When she is around him. Words are one thing, but when you see them together, the evidence becomes undeniable. Does she lean in when he speaks, even when the room is crowded? Does she angle her body toward him, even while you are standing nearby? Does she playfully touch his arm, laugh at his jokes, give him undivided attention? This is not just friendliness. This is proximity bias, the unconscious pull of the body toward the object of attraction. It is a primal instinct, wired into human nature. You cannot fake it, and you cannot suppress it for long. And here's a fascinating truth from psychology. People mirror those they are attracted to. If he scratches his chin, and seconds later she does too, if he leans forward, and suddenly she leans forward, this is not coincidence. This is subconscious synchronization, and it is one of the clearest signs of hidden attraction. 1.4. Nervous energy and over-defensiveness. Now watch what happens when you bring him up. Does she suddenly become defensive? Does she fidget, over-explain, or act as though she's been accused? Does she add unnecessary detail, saying things like, "Oh, he's just like a brother, you don't understand," or "He's been there for me in ways you can't imagine"? This is classic deflection. If he were truly just a friend, there would be nothing to defend, nothing to explain. She would answer neutrally, without fear, without tension. The fact that she grows nervous at the mention of his name reveals the opposite: emotional investment. 1.5. The test of intimate moments. And here, my friend, is perhaps the most powerful test of all. When you are alone with her, when intimacy is high, when she should be fully present with you, does she bring him up? If a woman thinks about another man, even in moments meant only for you, it is not accidental. It is not casual. It means he lives in her thoughts, rent-free, shaping her emotions even in your presence. Marcus Aurelius warned that we must guard the mind, for it is shaped by what it dwells upon. If she dwells on him while she is with you, it means her heart is not wholly yours. 1.6. Why this matters more than you think you may ask. But is this really such a big deal? Isn't it normal for people to have friends? Of course, it is normal. The Stoics did not teach us to be paranoid or jealous of every shadow, but they did warn us never to ignore the evidence of nature. The reason this matters is simple. If she is emotionally invested in him, she is less invested in you. If her body betrays feelings she won't admit, it means she may not be honest with herself, much less with you. And if you ignore the signs, you risk becoming the man who gave his loyalty to a woman who was never fully his. A relationship without full respect and commitment is like building a house on sand. It may look stable for a while, but sooner or later, the cracks will appear. 1.7. The Stoic Way Forward. So, what do you do if you see these signs? The Stoic answer is clear. Observe calmly, judge rationally, act decisively. Do not beg for her to stop. That is weakness. Do not lash out in anger. That is lack of control. Instead, observe, collect the truth, and then decide, is this woman worthy of my time, my energy, my life? Epictetus said it best. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, don't fear her calling you jealous or insecure. See what you see. Trust your reason. Act with strength. Sign number 2. She defends him like he's her boyfriend. When a woman says a man is just a friend, the natural assumption is that he occupies the same space as a brother or a casual acquaintance. Harmless, neutral, nothing more. But watch carefully how she responds when you so much as mention him. Because here is where truth leaks out in rivers. 2.1. Normal versus defensive. In a normal, healthy dynamic, if you asked, "So, how do you know him?" she'd answer calmly, "We went to school together," or "He's a co-worker," and move on. No nerves, no over-explaining. But when there is hidden emotional weight, everything shifts. She gets flustered. She starts justifying more than necessary. She launches into stories that seem oddly rehearsed. This is not friendship. This is defense, and defense means investment. 2.2. The psychology of deflection. Psychologists call this reactive defensiveness. When someone feels exposed, they shift blame, over-explain, or turn the accusation back on the questioner. So if you calmly ask about him, and she says, "You're just being insecure. Why are you jealous of my friends? I can't believe you don't trust me." Then understand this. She is no longer defending her friend. She is attacking you. This is a strategy to shut down your rational concern. And here is the key Stoic lesson. A person who is truly innocent has no need for defense. Marcus Aurelius said, "The truth never harms a just cause." If she reacts as though you've accused her of a crime for simply asking about him, the truth is not clean. 2.3. Shifting allegiance. Now notice this. If she defends him more fiercely than she defends you, what does that reveal about her heart? If you express a concern and her loyalty instantly shifts toward him, if she's more concerned about his honor than your peace of mind, that is a crack in the foundation of your relationship. A woman who respects you does not dismiss your feelings. She addresses them with patience. She seeks to reassure you, not to belittle you. Seneca once wrote, "To share joy and sorrow with another is true friendship." If she cannot share your concerns, but instead scolds you for voicing them, her allegiance may already be elsewhere. 2.4. The Stoic response. So what do? Do not fight. Do not argue. Instead, observe calmly. Recognize that her reaction speaks volumes about where her emotional energy lies. Remember, the wise man seeks clarity, not comfort. If she defends him like a lover, the truth is already before you. Sign number 3. She compares you to him. This sign is devastating, and most men miss it until it's too late. When a woman begins to compare you to her friend, whether subtly or openly, it means he has already taken up mental real estate in her judgment of you. 3.1. The subtle comparisons. It may start small. "Oh, he's so good at fixing things. You should learn from him. He's really thoughtful. He always remembers birthdays. He's ambitious. He's already planning his next career move." These sound like innocent remarks. But look deeper. Comparisons are not neutral, they are measurements. And when she measures you against him, it means she's holding him up as a standard. 3.2. The Stoic view on comparison. The Stoics despise comparison for one simple reason. It creates discontent. Epictetus warned that envy and comparison rob us of peace because they shift focus from what is ours to what belongs to another. If your woman is constantly comparing you to another man, she is already discontent with who you are. And discontent, left unchecked, destroys love. 3.3. Open versus silent comparison. Sometimes she doesn't say it aloud. Instead, you notice her disappointment in silence. She lights up when he texts, but shrugs at your gestures. She praises his efforts, but minimizes yours. That silence is louder than words. It reveals where her admiration lies, and admiration is the soil in which attraction grows. 3.4. The Stoic response. A man of wisdom does not compete with another man for a woman's admiration. That is weakness. Instead, he recognizes, if she measures me against him, then she does not see my worth clearly. And if she cannot see your worth, it is not your duty to prove it. It is your duty to protect it. Sign number 4. She prioritizes him over you. Friendship has boundaries. But when a woman constantly chooses him over you, in time, in energy, in loyalty, then you must wake up. 4.1. Time and attention. Ask yourself, does she answer his texts instantly while yours can wait? Does she cancel plans with you for urgent plans with him? Does she talk about his problems for hours but dismiss yours in minutes? Attention is the currency of love. Where she spends it, her heart follows. 4.2. Emotional prioritization. Sometimes it's not about physical time, but emotional priority. When something happens in her life, who does she run to first? You or him? If he gets the first call, the first text, the first venting session, then understand, he is not just a friend. He has become her emotional anchor. And when another man holds the emotional anchor, your relationship is already compromised. 4.3. Stoic clarity. The Stoics taught, pay attention to where the mind wanders when it is unguarded. If her unguarded moments are spent with him, in thought, in time, in loyalty, then her actions speak the truth. Sign number 5. She keeps secrets about him. Secrecy is poison in any relationship. If she hides texts, deletes calls, or grows evasive when you ask simple questions about him, then she is already protecting something she does not want revealed. 5.1. Innocent friendships are open. Think of this. When you have nothing to hide, you are relaxed, open, transparent. But when she guards her phone like a fortress, When she angles her screen away, when she suddenly changes the subject, you don't need her words. Her behavior screams louder. 5.2. Stoic Lesson on Truth. Epictetus said, "The liar is not only dishonest with others, but with himself." If she hides, she not only lies to you, but also to herself about the true nature of that friendship. 5.3. Modern psychology. Secrecy in relationships has been studied extensively. Research shows that when people begin hiding interactions, it almost always correlates with emotional infidelity, even if no physical line has yet been crossed. 5.4. The Stoic response. The wise man does not need to snoop or beg for passwords. He simply observes. Secrecy itself is the red flag. A relationship that requires detective work is already broken. Sign number 6. She fantasizes about him. This is perhaps the most painful, when she not only spends time with him, but also imagines scenarios of what if. 6.1. The giveaways. She slips his name into conversations out of nowhere. She tells stories about him in glowing detail. She brings him up even in moments that should belong to you. Why? Because he is already in her imagination. 6.2. The power of thought. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If her thoughts are dyed with him, then even if nothing physical has happened, her loyalty is divided. 6.3. Fantasy versus reality. Understand, relationships are not destroyed only by actions. They are destroyed when fantasy steals the energy meant for reality. If she fantasizes about him, then her presence with you is already diluted. Sign number 7. She minimizes your concerns. Finally, the most dangerous sign. When you calmly express your feelings, your concerns, your discomfort, and she dismisses them. 7.1. Gaslighting behavior. If she says, "You're imagining things," "You're paranoid," "You're crazy," then she is not addressing the concern. She is invalidating it. This is gaslighting, a manipulation tactic designed to make you doubt your own perception. 7.2. The Stoic stand. The Stoics trained themselves never to abandon their judgment. Epictetus insisted, "Do not let another's opinion override what you know to be true. If you see the signs, trust your reason. Do not let her dismissal cloud your clarity." 7.3. Why this sign matters most. Because here lies the final test. If she cannot even respect your feelings enough to address them sincerely, then the relationship is not built on mutual respect. And without respect, love cannot stand. Conclusion. So there you have it, 7 powerful warning signs that reveal when just a friend is far more than that. Her body language betrays her. She defends him with unusual passion. She compares you to him. She prioritizes him over you. She keeps secrets about him. She fantasizes about him. And she minimizes your concerns. The Stoics taught us that wisdom lies in seeing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. The man who ignores these signs chooses blindness. The man who observes calmly, accepts reality, and acts with strength. He chooses wisdom. So, my friend, do not ignore the truth. See it, accept it, and act upon it with courage. Because life is too short to waste on those who cannot honor your loyalty.